There we go. We are live. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Donovan Quesenberry. I am co-owner of Christmas Light Contractors, and tonight I have my other partner, Fred Zimmerman, is going to be joining us. So he's just running a little bit behind. I figure we'll go ahead and get started since it's 8 o'clock. But I just want to share with you like the typical journey of a new installer and where you guys are at and what to expect for your very first season. I know my first year, I got started a little bit later in the year. But one thing that I noticed on my second season is the people who were starting fresh that year, they got a little discouraged around this time of the year. And that's because guys like me who are seasoned and have been around and are reaching out to existing clients and have referrals and everything else are starting to get jobs approved. So we received a a nice little deposit check today, right around $22,000. We got a bunch of jobs starting to get approved, and it's starting to roll in. But that's not normal for it to happen this early if it's your first year and maybe even your second year in business. So again, Fred's going to hop on here pretty soon, and we'll get a little bit of back and forth going. So if you guys will just pause with me for 1 second, I'm going to share out this link on the interwebs, and then we'll get rolling. All right, good to go. Oh, it looks like we're already good to go there. Very cool. All right, let me exit out. Oh, goodness. There we go. All right, very cool. So, all right. So again, let's talk about if it's your very first year. What are some things that you can do to get jobs this early? It's going to be limited, but I would say if you have a bit of a budget, you could try some Facebook ads. You could try some door knocking. You could try that, but I would say probably some of your best results are going to be doing a community type event, right? If you get some really good photos, if you get some really good marketing material like print material, and you go out and you actually do like a community event, maybe you do a giveaway, something that like drums up interest in your service. But normally that might convert. I mean, I don't know. You might land a couple of jobs this year, or excuse me, this month, but it's really early. The term that Tyler Zimmerman likes to use is, oh, we got a couple of questions. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Cindy, how's it going? The term that Tyler Zimmerman likes to use is he calls it a catalyst. So what is going to create that I need to buy now. I need to sign up now. And this time of the year, there really isn't a very strong catalyst. We did a class last week on Thursday and Friday, and on Wednesday we went out and I had a new sales guy and we walked him through the whole sales approach. And it was first time going out and doing a sales for a brand new client. Now, this person found us through a referral. Okay, so that's number one. And then their next door neighbor had hired another company, and that other company had installed the lights for 3 years, but each year that service went down. So when I talked to this lady, I was there with a brand new salesperson. Remember, this came from a referral, and she had a little bit of experience from the next door neighbor who could not give a referral. So I was a positive experience. I was already a positive recommendation. We went out there, we did the in-person quoting, we built the design, we went over all the line items, we sat down at the kitchen table, we went over it with the client, and she was like, hey, this sounds great. Let us discuss it and we'll get back to you. The next day during the class, it got approved. So that was $3,800. Again, if it's your first year and you hear that story, you might try to go out and do the same exact thing, but you don't have that referral. The component that you're missing is the referral from the existing client, right? Even the next door neighbor who said, don't use my company. And then another person on top of that said, do use NC Chris, or excuse me. The next door neighbor said, don't use the company that they had used. So that was like hey, there's some bad companies out there. And then the person who recommended my company, NC Christmas Lights, said, yeah, Donovan and NC Christmas Lights did a really amazing job. And I would say that helped close the job just as much as the photos and me showing up and everything else. You are missing that if it's your very first year. And so again, if I do marketing, if I do all this other type of stuff, and then they go and they plug NC Christmas lights into Google, or they get on our Facebook page, like people right now have a tendency to shop around a little tiny bit because there is no holiday lights in the store. The neighbors don't have lights up. There's no like emotional catalyst that they need to buy right now. So they're going to shop around a little bit. So if I do ads, even my ads being a year 2 or year 3 or year 4 installer are going to be significantly more effective. So I say all that not to discourage you, but to simply say, manage your expectations. You don't need to shoot for the moon right now. If I were you, what I would do is I would probably get some lights and get them up on a structure. So you could buy a starter package. Let me see. I think I probably have a link. Let's see. There you go. So something like this right here. You could buy a 1,000-foot starter package. This would be enough. It's $1,200. Okay, Fred got on there and he's doing all of his discounts again. But you could get this starter package, and this would be enough to put lights up on your house. It's 1,000 foot. The average home is going to be between 150 and 175 feet for putting lights up on that structure. So I would. Oh, somebody scanned the QR code. So I would recommend you get something like this. It's $1,200 if you can invest in it. In my opinion, it would be better at this time of the year to invest in something like a starter package if you have the money than Google Ads. And then you're going to get photos. The number one thing you can do right now is get really good content. If you join, there you go. If you join CLC University, oh, hey, we got Fred on.
Yep.
Hey, Fred. So I'm just, I don't know if you've caught any of the live, but I was just talking with people about how you and I might be getting jobs approved, but if it's their first year, they probably aren't going to have the same success that we are, because a lot of our stuff that's getting approved right now is from referrals and stuff like that. Even if we do advertising, they can like look up our company or talk to a neighbor. So even our advertising is going to be more effective than it's their first year. So guys, like I said, if it is that first season, I wonder if I could swap the other side and make it look like I'm looking at Fred. Now it looks like I'm like looking away. I wonder how I switch. Can I drag?
No,
I'm gonna like mess up the whole live. What if I do this? Oh, hey, it worked. Did it work? That is so cool. Now it looks like I'm looking at Fred. All right, Fred, now you got to turn and face me.
that's kind of weird.
So guys, I'm going to complete that thought. But if you are, again, if it's your very first year, I don't say this to like drum up a sale, but if you want to try to get work right now, my advice actually would be get a starter package. You don't have to go for the 1,000-foot. Fred, do you know how much the 100-foot or the 200-foot starter packages are?
I think the 100-foot is like 159 or something like that. That's with shipping. It might be 169 with shipping.
Okay. So guys, like you could get the 100-foot, but my point is, you need to do something that is creating in advertising. They call it the creatives. So if you can get video of you like clipping the lights on the house and like the back of your shirt, if you own another company, or just wear a red shirt, like look real presentable, your vehicle, and you get these different shots and you get this different creative. And you use that and you put that on your Google profile and you put that on your Facebook and you share that on your personal Facebook and you share that out with existing clients. If you do a lot of these things right now, that is going to build, what would you call it, Fred? Like social proof, where it's going to build, people are going to know that you're real versus like if you just do an ad and then they can't find anything else about your company.
Yeah. So I always advocate people like that are brand new. Just today I was being interviewed on another live, and that guy is a big installer for like light shows and stuff. But anyways, I just told the guys, buy a starter pack, put it on your house, make some videos, put it in. And a lot of those guys actually do light shows. So I was like, dude, you guys know more than most Christmas light installers in the country. Just take some videos of your own house, put it in the local community forums. Just like, hey, is it too early? I got lights up before Halloween. What do you guys think about it? Just something, a soft sale, just so that people in the community know that you do lights. And inevitably, people are going to be like, dude, can you, my husband won't put up my lights. Is there any way I could get a quote? So, but you don't have to ask people. Like, it's got to be a soft sale. They'll kick you out of the community forums if you're like, hey, do you want to quote? Do you want to quote? Do you want to quote? They'll kick you right out. But you just want to kind of let people know that, hey, this is what I do. What do you think about it?
Now, for somebody brand new, you would still say though, like probably focus more on the soft sale, the organic, as opposed to like dumping a ton of money in ads right now.
Exactly. Ads right now. I do think I'm going to start running ads in September, but I'm still not running ads because the only one you're going to get right now is commercial. And if you're a new guy, I wouldn't jump into big giant commercial. You're probably going to be over your head. And right now you're going to lose a lot of money on your ads. So you could land some big fish, but I would just, if I was in a brand new person, I will wait till possibly start dabbling in September with your ads and then go heavy. And that way you know what you're doing by you can get a good game plan, a strategy that you feel like you're getting at least some leads. If you can get some leads in September, you're going to crush it in October. And then once you got your ads dialed in, then ramp up your budget. But until you can prove you get leads, I would not spend very much money on your advertising because like even right now, we're talking about Christmas lights and our business, we get some Christmas light sales right now, but you have to be hardcore to be buying lights right now and to be putting lights on your house. So the average consumer is not thinking about Christmas until it gets closer to Halloween. So, and most of the people you're going to get in September, they're going to be very budget conscious. They're going to be getting a lot of estimates. They're planners. So they're not going to be your high ticket items. Some will, but in general, they're going to be a lot more people that are just, they're budget conscious. That's why they're planning ahead. So your best people are going to be the ones that come in October and November, the last people. And by then you want to have all your ads extremely dialed in so you can ramp up your ads budget in November, just get slammed with tons of leads like Donovan does every year. He's the one that taught me. Look, I learned a whole lot by trying to get Donovan into the industry, but I would be like booked and I would just turn my ads off. I'd kill my ads. And he would be booked out for like a week or two. And I was like, why don't you kill your ads? He's like, no, man, I'm keeping my ads going. I want to have steady stream work. I'm just raising my prices. So that's what I do now. I don't kill my ads anymore. I just let them kind of trickle in, but I'm always putting out estimates. And the more I'm booked out, the higher my prices get. And I think that's the best strategy I've ever seen in my life. And I wish I would have done that many years earlier. I would be in a whole lot different position than I am now. But Donovan's the one that taught me that. So you never stop putting out estimates. You just raise your prices if you're getting a little overbooked. But first,
so I was, for those of y'all who don't know, I was real big in gutter cleaning, and Fred basically harassed me online until I decided to do Christmas lights. He basically was like messaging me and everything else, and he was just like, Donovan, you got to do Christmas lights. I was like, nah, I've hung Christmas lights before, but I just hung like homeowners lights. I didn't understand like the professional grade and like you lease it to them and stuff like that. And so Fred basically like, he harassed me until he literally made me hang lights. And then I was just like, this is the best thing ever. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I didn't realize we were having pets in this. I got to go get a dog. If you're having a cat in the live, I got to get a dog. Tyler says, give each other a virtual kiss. Tyler, only a brother could say that. So guys, everybody in the chat, where are you at in business right now? So just so you guys know, like Fred, how long have you been installing lights for? Like 15 years, 20 years or something like that?
Yeah, this is I think my 15th year now. So, and I did it all wrong. Like part of bringing Donovan into the Christmas light business, it re-educated me about the proper way to run a business. But just seeing, because the thing is, I should have ran my business like him from the beginning. But like he never wanted to get into Christmas lights. He's so slam busy with gutter cleaning. That's like his busiest time of the year. He's like, Fred, I'm going to sit it out. I'm going to watch you. And I'll take notes. And then next year, I'm going to get into Christmas lights. I was like, that's the wrong way. You got to jump in it now, get your feet wet, because there's a learning curve. You have to get at least 10, 15 installs under your belt this year. So it's not just all theory. It's kind of like trying to learn how to ride a bike by reading books. You can read 100 books on how to ride a bike, but it's not even close to the same thing as just jumping on a bike and doing it. So I was like, you just got to get 10, 15 installs. So he bid them like he didn't want the jobs. He was so busy, he didn't want them. So he bid these jobs ridiculously high. And then he was like, Fred, I just landed one. And then while he was there, like he was doing upsells. And I think one of his first jobs, then you end up, it wasn't like a $2,500 or $3,000 that turned like a $4,500 install. Was it like within one of your first few installs?
Yeah, my first one, I think I did like a candy cane or something. I don't know. It was definitely within the first three. Was like it was over $5,000. The one that I distinctly remember was over $5,000. They found me off of a Facebook post at like 10 o'clock at night, and they paid a 50% deposit after talking to me for like 10 minutes on Messenger. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I think maybe I had sold like, I don't think my very first one may have been like $1,100 or $1,300, which again, though, at the time, that was huge for me. I was like, this is crazy, but it wasn't really profitable because the first year I was like buying all the materials and still figuring it out and learning. It still probably took me like half a day, and I made $1,100, $1,200, $1,300. But it was like, oh, this is pretty cool. The one that I was like, this is real, was over $5,000, and they paid a 50% deposit. So that was crazy. Okay, so we got a few people who responded. We got Brandon said this is our 5th season. And then we have Brian said this is our 3rd year, but haven't really taken it serious. So Brian, why have you not taken it serious, and why are you going to take it serious now? Like what's going to be the difference between you like actually making a difference in your business and your family's life this year and previous years? Has something changed? Or you just like, you're tired of being like left behind? Is there a little bit of fear of missing out? Like what is it for you? What's your why?
Well, while he's answering that, I want to continue onward. So I watched Donovan, and he did end up doing like 10 or 15, and he was so slam busy. He never had the time for any of these jobs. So he just kept putting ridiculous prices on these, and he was just totally shocked that people were able to pay this. So then year 2, he just like what Brian was just saying, like a lot of people don't believe it's real, don't believe you can really make this kind of money doing Christmas lights. So they never really go all in their first year. Very few people. The biggest thing I see is year 2 is when people usually crush it if they do good. Sometimes they have rock stars that do 6 figures their very first year, but those are the exception. Those are not the norm. It's usually year 2 if people get into 6 figures because they start taking it serious. But year 2 or 3. So, but Donovan, his 2nd year just crushed it. And the thing is, what I saw was he was giving high price estimates. And I was like, why are you doing that? I thought you're really trying to get into it. He's like, Fred, if they paid this much the first year, why would I change my business model? So the 2nd year, he went all in on ads, and he just kept like putting sky high estimates out there and just taking the very cream of the crop, the very best estimates and the ones that paid the absolute most. And he just kept stacking them out. And he was getting literally overbooked because he still had his gutter cleaning business going while he was piling installs on top. And he was literally booked out like 2 weeks in advance, and he was still Fred. I'm like almost 3 weeks out. I was like, well, stop, kill your ads. He's like, no, was it year 2 or was that year 3 where you're getting almost at $20 a foot estimates? It might've been year 2, but he was just so busy.
No, I would say that was probably year 3 that I got that high. Year 2, what I did differently was I quoted, like year 1, I gave them a deal on the first 100 foot, and I only quoted them what they were interested in. Year 2, I quoted them for everything I was willing to do. And it still got, I still got really good results. Year 3 was crazy for me. Like year 3, I think was $250,000 in revenue for me, year 3. And that was like crazy. That was like, oh my gosh, because it all came in. I still did in year 3. I don't think I had my preseason. I don't think I reached out to any of my customers until September, October. So all of that money came in like the end of October and November. So that was life-changing money for us in a short period of time. I was still understaffed, and it was still like really intense. But year 3 and year 4, I had to figure some things out of necessity. And my whole thing was like always answer the phone and then always give a quote. But what I would do is like, so let's take like this house right here behind me. I would quit offering the wreaths and the ground stick lighting and the wreaths and all that. So as I got booked up, I would increase my price just for the roof line, and then I would only quote the roof line. And so what would happen is the following year, they would be at $15, $20, $25 a foot for their roof line. And then I wouldn't lower that. So I quit giving discounts the next year. And so later on in the year, it actually, it kind of like built my future so that my clients, all the new clients I was getting they were paying that higher rate always. And then I would contact them in January, be like, hey, let's finalize your design. Make sure you don't miss out on the wreaths and the columns and the garland and all that other type of stuff. And so they may have paid $1,500 just for like 100 foot of roof line or something. And then the next year that, I'd turn this right here into like a $3,000, $4,000 job the following year. So it made a pretty big impact. Here, let's read a couple more comments. Cindy said, There we go. So Cindy said, third year here. Last year I worked 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. Also did finish all the clients I had and to hand them over. Wow. I read that really quick. Sorry, I butchered that. That's what I do to bid them high and cry when they accept. Yeah. So Cindy, one thing that you might be able to do is simplify your design. So if you're getting really busy and your guys or gals or your installers, whoever, are really good at roofline or whatever, only offer that in your quote. And what I tell people is I say like, hey, everything is custom cut to fit your home. I don't just go to the store and buy lights that are like junk, so I can't throw them up. I'm actually like running out of inventory for my wreaths and my mini lights and all that type of stuff, which is true in November. Like even suppliers can run out of stuff. And so I simplify my design. I only quote them for roofline because I know we can get it real quick. And then I say, well, but what we can do is if I get a late shipment in or if I get caught up on installs, I'll check with you in December if you want to add anything this year, but we can definitely add it on for next year.
Hey, I want to quick put this out there. Hey, anyone that buys a ticket to the Huge, we're going to give you a free ticket into the actual Huge on top of that. And the first one that buys one tonight or in the next, if it's the next day or two, because the Huge just called me. And
okay, wait. Fred likes giving stuff away. So let me clarify. Anybody who buys a ticket, oh gosh, how much are tickets to the Huge, Fred?
The tickets to the Huge are like $279 a piece or something.
Fred, we're only charging $199. We're going to lose money.
No, but we're giving one. They're going to get a free ticket to the Huge. The Huge is separate from us.
All right. Let's limit it to 10, so we're not losing too much money. All right, here's what we're going to do, guys. If you're planning on coming, I'm getting ready to put a QR code up, okay? And so the QR code is going to bring you up to the Huge ticket for us. That CLC light training, and so I'm getting ready to put the QR code up on the screen. Anybody who buys during the live, I don't care how many we sell, we'll get you a ticket to the Huge. If you buy during the live, but it's probably only another 30 minutes to this live. And then we're going to cap it out at what, like 5 or 10?
Yeah, 5, because we're gonna end up losing a lot of money. I'm gonna get yelled at.
All right. We're gonna give a countdown. All right, so 5. I'm gonna put the QR code up. Y'all, like anybody who buys during the live, I guess we'll just do it. But if we only have like 1 or 2 people buy during the live, we're going to cap it at 5 total, at least for this one. The next 5 people will get you a free ticket to the Huge. All right. So you ready? We'll give you a countdown. You guys get ready. Look, if you're on your phone, then you're going to have to. I tell you what, Fred, can you copy that the code or something and then put it in the chat, or I'll put it in the chat. But if you're guys, it's going to show QR code, and then I'll put it in the chat. You can click on that. But all right,
so it's a Huge. We have a speaker there. Was it Aaron? He does like $5 million a year in installs. He's going to teach you.
Yeah, he and his wife, and they actually work on different parts of business. Actually, so if we're limiting this to 5, like I did this last week, and they sold out like that. I gave away some free stuff last week. So guys, if you're interested in coming to the training, it's August 22nd. It's all day right before the Huge. If you're going to be at the Huge, you might as well check it out. Oh, 4 people have already scanned the code. So
okay, so we got Jared Chanowski. He's going to be there. He does $1.3 million of Christmas lights, just Christmas lights alone, and he's going to be there, kind of unlocking the way that he does it. We also got Donovan there. He's going to be speaking. We got Spencer Clays is like a Facebook marketing. I mean, I'm sure you've seen some of his videos, super viral, and he is going to be teaching you how to get a lot more customers. And we got Adam Chapman. Adam Chapman is just a beast. He's going to be there. But we got this is going to be the most high intensity training of the year. I don't know of any other lineup in the industry that's anything like this. So, I mean, I think I'm super pumped. I think it's going to be our best training by far of the year. Unfortunately, there's not going to be the hands-on part of it. You would have to probably come to one of our in-person trainings, like Donovan just had, where you're going to get, if you got employees or whatever, but this is going to teach you how to scale your business. So I've been in the industry for 15 years.
So on August 22nd, there's not going to be hands-on training, but we're not going to tell you exactly what we're doing because everybody else will copy us, but there is going to be a hands-on component at the Huge, but we're for permanent lighting and for temporary lighting. Anywho, y'all will find out. I'm just saying, if you guys are going to the Huge convention, You're going to want to check out our training on August 22nd. And then, and then even if you're brand new, like come check us out in the vendor space is all I'll say. And
yeah, you're gonna get a network with us and be able to talk with us and meet us. And honestly, the guys that come to in-person training that we meet end up doing on average better than the people that we just know through the group. I think it's just because you really, when you meet a person in person, it just like you kind of take them under your wing. So it's a little different interaction.
Yeah. Okay, so if you are brand new, I want to give you guys a few more nuggets. And I tell you what, guys, if you guys are getting value out of this live, I'm going to ask you to do one favor for me. Go ahead and share it because we got like 20-ish people, a little bit more on the live right now. If you're getting value out of this, if you would just share it on Facebook or something like that, that helps us get the word out. And it just helps us when Fred puts all these stupid deals and discounts out there and we lose money. So at least we'll have more people that we can lose money with.
So hey, I am the one. I am the one that gets yelled at for making our company lose money, like probably more than anyone. So, but I'm always trying to help if the installers get a win, I'm in favor of it. But sometimes I'm not the best business person.
Yeah, so. That's another tip and trick for you guys. If you guys ever want a discount when buying something, just message Fred. Hey, Fred, can I get a discount? And he'll stop what he's doing. Even if he's up on a roof, he'll be like, yeah, just wait a second. He'll be up on his roof. He'll pull out our website on his phone and create a little discount for you and go, here you go. You just get it all for free. And then he'll like lose money on his install and like give you a huge discount. And anywho, whatever. No, I'm just picking on
it too much. But it's been known to happen, but I am getting counseling for it from some of our staff. They're trying to help me.
Counseling, yeah, that's a nice way to put it. Hey, Tyler, what would you say about your brother's discounts? All right, Andy said this is my second season, and we're gonna go all in. Andy, that's what I did my second season. I really fell in love with it. I tell you what was really cool was at the end of my second season. Well, I tell you, for season one, I did all the work myself, and I kept all my workers doing gutter clean because I still didn't think that it was going to work out. But at the end of the second season, I was like, okay, we're going to do this. I got my crews trained on it, and we did a really good amount. And I distinctly remember I had this guy. He's like a brother to me. His name's Daquan, and he's like, at the end of the season, he's like, man, we did it. Like we actually did it. Like we had an idea, and we did it, and we installed it, and it worked out. And I just remember like before having some ideas, like Fred and I are like known for that. We have some crazy ideas and we just do them. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But, what was really cool was I had one guy, he was like really core team on my install business and my cleaning business. And he's like, Donovan, man, we actually did it. We had an idea, we came up with it and we did it. And it worked out. So that was really cool for me, my second
well,
year.
So I think it's one of the biggest hangups for people. They don't go all in their first year. So you have people like Alex Perry, and he went all in last year. So his first year, he did 14,000. His second year did way over 100,000. But all the same thing with who was the other guy I just interviewed? He did, oh man, I can't remember his name at the moment. The guy from Indianapolis, but the college student, he did 40,000 his first year, and his second one, he did 250,000. But the biggest thing is they went all in. Yeah, even in, so the thing is this, the second year they went all in and they planned it out all year long. So they hit the ground running. Like right now, you guys should be planning on how are you going to market? What is your strategy? Do you have cards to put on people's doors when it's in season? Do you have your yard signs already set? Do you have your GMB already going? Do you have your Facebook ads dialed in? Do you have a system where you can ramp up your ads if you want to get more work, like just like that? Like this is what you need to be doing right now, because in about, you got about a little less than 40 days, a little bit more in a month, and you're going to be, it's go time. You got to start running your ads as heavy as you can.
So Cody just said, just bid my first commercial job. I got shot down 30-foot evergreen and 20 small trees, bid it for $15,500 and got shot down. Cody, you just dodged a bullet. Because that's underbid. Yeah, you just dodged a bullet, Cody. Don't sweat that.
Yeah, you have to remember, you guys are bidding against people that are having going out of business sales. They just don't know it. A lot of these guys you're bidding against are not going to be in business for very long. So just because you don't have to match their price, like just because they're going out of business doesn't mean you got to go down with them.
Christian, I didn't realize that you were Oh, maybe you're doing a different, Christian. Were you doing a different business for 7 years, or have you been hanging lights for 7 years? I didn't realize you've been around that long, man. But yeah, third year renting lights.
Yeah,
Top ticket.
honestly,
Oh, here's cool. What did I just do? Okay. All right, here's cool. Top ticket last year was $4,500. That's pretty awesome.
that's pretty good. I like
Ooh,
this
look
too.
at this, Miss Cindy. Look, we need to get Miss Cindy on here. Holy cow, 40K was top ticket last year. That's awesome. I just closed a $42,000 commercial job. It should take 1 day to install. That was labor only. So 42 grand for commercial should
So,
take 1 day to
so
install.
this is what I want to point out to you guys. So I thought Donovan was out to lunch while he was throwing all this money on ads when he was already super booked out. And so he's like, of course your closing rate. At one point he was saying he was closing like 2 out of every 100 estimates. I was like, what's the point of running your ads if you're going to charge that much and only close like 2 of them? That's just throwing away your money. Well, okay, that's that year. The next year, it's like, so I used to show my numbers to him all the time and show like, this is how much the trucks did this year. What are you doing? And like, I was always beating him, but I stopped doing that because with one truck, he is like doing the equivalent of like 3. If I got 2 or 3 crews trying to go hang lights, his one truck is putting out more, because the thing is, he's got all these customers coming back that he bid sky high like years ago, and they're planning on paying. I mean, even if he gave them a tiny bit of a discount, they're still paying 2 or 3 times as much as what one of my customers is doing. So he only has to do one job for every 3 jobs I'm doing. I mean, and as far as, I mean, they're not that much more difficult installs. There are a lot of times that are even easier installs than what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's a
Well, and
better.
I will say also my client retention rate, because my prices are so high, like I want everybody to understand that. I'm not trying to say like I do not have a 90% client retention rate. I bet you it's between 50 and 60%. So I lose half my clients every year, but I just have such good marketing and so many leads come in that I mean, honestly, I'm not worried about it. So they're replaced the moment that they don't sign back up. Matter of fact, I get a lot of people sign up and I tell them, I will tell my existing clients, like, you better approve this before September, because if not, I can't guarantee you a spot on the schedule. So it's just, we get pretty booked up. Okay. So this is pretty cool. So Brian Jensen said, because remember, he said that he's going to go all in. He's been testing the waters for a while. And then he actually came out to lighting launch this year in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. He's like, I'm doing it differently this year. I came out to training in Gatlinburg and saw the possibilities from all the business owners there. So one thing that Fred and I do is we definitely believe in community. We believe in are you a good company culture fit for CLC before can we make a buck off you, or what can you add to the company? It's like, are you a good fit? And so lighting launch is for people who have been in the industry, not brand new people. That maybe your business is I tell it, if your business is under $100,000 and you maybe lighting launch isn't the best thing for you, but lighting launch is our yearly conference. If you're doing 100,000 or right at 100,000, or you plan on getting serious the upcoming year, we host lighting launch every February and March. And it's going to be in Gatlinburg, Tennessee in 2025 as well. We only have like 120 spots, so it's probably going to book up. But our whole thing is to teach you guys not how to hang a light bulb, but how to scale your business beyond where normally people get stuck. So Fred, let's give some people some nuggets. Where does an established business, say year 2, year 3, the $200,000 to $300,000 a year lighting business, why do they get stuck there? Like, why do you think people get stuck in that range?
I was stuck there for a long time. Part of it was I wasn't bid enough, bid high enough. But then even with me raising my prices, so that helps you go from 200,000 to 300,000 by changing your prices. But you still can't really break past there until you can get off the truck. So unless you can get off the truck, you really can't break past the 200,000 to 300,000 barrier. So you have to have better systems in place. And part of that is you can't even get off the truck if you don't have good communication with your employees so that they can go to the job without you ever being on the job and explain to them how to do the job. So that means you have to have good documentation, good photos, good communication with the client and the install. As when the quote's approved, you have to have a good photo with every. So when I tried to pull myself off the truck, I realized I couldn't, because I was the only one that knew how to do these jobs. If I wasn't there, no one else could do them. Or I had another lead guy that doesn't work for me anymore. It was either me or him always on every job. So a lot of these jobs are in our heads. So there's no way I could ever grow my business past what was in our heads. So until I got it on paper and they have files now with each customer, now I can send guys that have never been on the job. You have to assume that your job file, that no one has ever been on this job before, that is there installing. If you cannot look at the job file and figure out what needs to be done, then something's wrong with your job file. And you cannot grow past 200,000 to 300,000 a year if you cannot get a good job file. That's absolutely paramount in your business.
Yeah. So guys, what I will tell you is I'll do another shameless plug. We're launching CLC University. Right now it's a soft launch. It's going to be fully launched by the huge convention. And just a hint, if you are planning on attending or training at the huge convention, you might get access to all this material. But look, if you are brand new or even if you're established, you might want to check out clc-university.com. We got some really cool material in there. Yes, we want to help people get started. We want to help them with the basics, but even our starting your business course, it goes all the way from before your first job, at your first job, getting profitable, growing the business, and then like focusing on systematizing your business. So we have over 100 lessons in there. We got multiple courses. We plan on adding a lot more. So it's going to be a really great resource, and it's only $99 a month. So check it out. And if you're brand new, there's also a link. Fred and I have recorded, it's been a couple of years, but we recorded like a video series, Tip from a Pro. And then Tyler's put a lot of work into the permanent lighting. There's free course on there. So you can get all the basics for free. It's all right there in one place. Check it out. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section. We'll add more content to the free course to explain it. But we're really doing this to, one, empower the new person and make sure that you're starting and growing your business the proper way. We want everybody new coming into the industry to be charging premium pricing and to be doing it the right way and understanding the value and the level of service you need to be giving to your clients, and then how to charge accordingly for that. Like, that's our goal at CLC University for the brand newest person, to help them in their install business. And then as your install business grows, we want to have some resources for you guys to be able to scale your business and not get like stuck. I'll be honest with you. I got stuck at the $500,000 range, right? Like Fred, you got stuck at the, you said the $200,000 to $300,000 range. Like, we've all gotten stuck before. And when we get past it, like, our goal is just to share it. So that way guys like Ryan Culp and guys like Sam coming on and some of the up and comers that have like Philip Ambrose, like, hopefully these guys will never get stuck in their business. They'll be able to keep growing and scaling and learn from Fred and my mistake, and then be a resource to brand new people coming on as well. So that's sort of our goal there.
So our goal with Christmas light contractors, we want our community to be the very leading edge of the whole Christmas light industry. We want our installers to be, to have every advantage over any other installer that you're going to be competing against. So that we really try to put the community first. So like this year, I'm super pumped about my Facebook marketing is getting better and better. I've been like trying to dial in, but this is the first time in a couple of years that I really believe I got a better understanding of Facebook marketing, which I think we're going to like try to help the people in the group a little bit. But some of the ads are outdated that we've been using for a couple of years. And I'm starting to realize that, but just changing your ads a little bit is going to keep you ahead of all your competition. Now we're going to try to keep CLC ahead of everyone else. Now we know as soon as we let it out in the group that everyone's going to start to do it next year, but that's why we're not willing to talk about it too much yet, because we know everyone else will start to copy it. But in about a month or two, we're going to start, maybe at the huge, we'll start to talk about it a little bit more there. But I think that you guys are going to have better access to leads this year, or high quality leads, than anyone else in the industry as in the Christmas light industry. So I know there's a lot of services out there selling leads and stuff, but not all leads are the same. You need ones that convert. So I really think Facebook is one of the best avenues to getting high quality converting leads. And I've really figured it out in the last couple months. So I think we'll talk about a little bit at the huge, but Spencer Clay is going to be there, and he is a super beast at Facebook marketing. He really is. I know he's a young guy, but he has got leads. Like, he can make Facebook like a lead machine. So
Brandon asked, anyone successful for cold calling for commercial? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, you need to talk with Tyler. Tyler's reoccurring revenue model for commercial with the year-round lighting is revolutionary. And, here's a cool thing with plugging into a network like Vibrant Nights is even the way that we are selling these jobs today is different than how we were doing them 6 months ago, right? Like what Fred was talking about is there's a lot of these gurus that haven't had an install company in years, right? And they're still hopping on. They're saying, sell this way, just go do this, just do action, just go do something. Just look, the algorithms are getting smarter. Like ads are getting smarter. There's AI that's affecting a lot. Customers, there's honestly, and here's the other thing, there's more saturation in the market. If Fred and I are in the same market, how do I beat Fred? Fred's been around for a long time. If you're in my market, how do you beat me? Like the thing is you're not going to learn that from somebody who hasn't had a business for 5 years. Like the advice that's being given is not accurate. Like Fred, the way that you're doing ads today, let's just take Facebook ads, is different than how ads were being done last year, correct?
Exactly. So you guys know I got booted from Facebook. I'm the one that originally invented the Christmas Light Contractors group. We grew it, and then Facebook booted me because I used to preach to everyone all the time in my group. They didn't like that. So I had a page with like 50,000 followers called I'm a Christian American. I don't want to get into it. I'll lose my Facebook account again. But anyway, I can't preach to people, so I have to keep my religion to myself, but on Facebook at least. But so when I got back on Facebook, I started running ads like I was doing like 2 or 3 years ago. And they used to be very effective. I mean, they weren't like super effective, but I could turn them on and get leads. This year I was doing the same thing I was doing 2 or 3 years ago, which used to work. And my lead cost was costing me almost $40 to $100 a lead. And I was doing before and after pictures of clean houses, dirty houses, houses in the background with people power washing or like the viral videos of people like cleaning patios and stuff. And they were not, I mean, my average lead cost is getting close to like $30 to $40 a lead, which is just not sustainable. And not to mention the leads were not very highly converting. So just tweaking my ads just a little bit, my ads are down. It's down to pretty consistently $20 a lead in July, which is just spectacular. And the biggest thing is they convert because just the way, just a couple little tweaks to your ads totally changed the whole, the ads are totally different than they used to be 2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, guys, you want to take advice from folks who, in my opinion, are like actively growing their business, right? Because they're boots on the ground and they know what's working right now. Because look, Fred and I mean, that's how we pay our bills is through our install companies. So we need our install companies to perform. Tyler Zimmerman has a year-round permanent lighting install company. So he knows what he's talking about. All right, David's on YouTube and he's saying, what do you guys know about Valpak? They quoted me 26 cents a postcard mailed, and I'm just wondering, is it legit? Because it sounds like it's a pretty good deal. My customers personally are not in Valpak, but maybe for washing or something like that. I'm not saying don't do it. I am saying it gets very expensive. You're going to have to dump a lot of money into that and do it several times for it to be effective. Fred, what do you think?
So I know a guy that owns Valpak for New England, and he's always trying to, well, he said he'll give me a really good deal if I want to get on it, but he was telling me what some of the contractors do that are pretty successful. But I mean, you have to have some sort of coupon on it or people are not going to call it. People that get Valpak, they're expecting a coupon. Now, just because you give a coupon doesn't mean that you're a cheap company. You just have to have it built into the price. And I think you're going to have to do it multiple times. You can't just do it a one-time thing. It won't work that way.
All right, so Angel on Facebook is saying, I'm new to this and I really want to get into it. So Angel, go to right here, go to clc-university.com, scan this, and then right on the top, the very first course right there is like how to get free training. It'll bring you to, I think it's 11 videos right now, and we will add the permanent lighting to that as well. But all you got to do is put in your email address, and then you get access to log into that. But it's literally like 11 free videos on how to install professional grade lighting. So I would start there, and that'll give you all the basics. You don't need to pay for anything. And then if you do have the budget, then I would get a starter package. This comes with everything you need to put lights up on a roof line. So you get the socket cord, the bulbs, the clips, the male plugs, the female plugs, the power wire, timers. And it's built for like everything you actually need. Some other companies, they like short you on the stuff, but this is what you need for 1,000 foot. There's also 200 foot or 500 foot, whatever. Put this up and get a lot of good photos. That is how I would get started if you are literally brand new. And then after that, like, how do you close your first job? I would do all the organic stuff. Like I go over this in depth in CLC-University. If you pay for the subscription, it's literally like There's a whole intro to marketing course. There's like, before you even get to the first job, what do you need to do? Hey, kitty cat. But literally we go in depth in it quite a bit. But on what I did my very first year is I sold a job. I collected a 50% deposit. I bought materials. There wasn't a starter pack back then, but then I bought the materials. It arrived. It took like a week or two for it to arrive back then, but from CLC, you should get it within 24, 48 hours in most parts of the US. And then you install it, you collect the remaining 50%, and then you wash, rinse, repeat. So you don't need to invest a lot of money. I would invest in making sure that you are knowledgeable enough and that you're an expert on the industry. So that way you are passionate when you talk to a client. What's going to sell these jobs, what sells this right here is not that I'm a professional and I'm putting a specific bulb up there and we're going to be so far spaced apart and whatever. It's like my passion for the industry. If you guys can't tell with Fred and I on this live tonight, like we are extremely passionate about what we're doing. So that is what's going to communicate with the customer is like, are you passionate about what you're doing? They've already reached out to you. They've already seen a photo or something. They want it. Now you need to get them excited and collect a 50% deposit. So you do not have your first job, Angel, until you get that 50% deposit.
So part of the thing also with buying a starter pack and put it on your own house, put it on your neighbor's house, put it on your mom's house, or one of your family members' house, your friend's house. The thing is, once you actually put the stuff up on a house or two, you're going to start to look at a house and realize right away, okay, I can't put lights there. You're not going to be very sure of yourself. It's all theory to you right now when you're watching our videos. But when you actually have installed a house or two, I don't care if you've done it for free on your own house or your family, like you're going to actually understand, okay, I understand why I can't put those lights on that part that's over top of the window. Like I have to explain to my secretary. I actually brought my secretary out to the jobs and explained, I had her actually install with me for a few days just so she can see, look, when you're drawing these mock-ups of these houses, you cannot put lights, or explain to me how, and she gets it now. But me trying to explain it to her again and again was not the same as her actually going out to work with us for a few days. And then she's like, oh, now I see why you can't put lights on the little tiny ridge that's over the cupola or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
But it's going to give you a lot more understanding and confidence when you're bidding jobs about what you're able to do and what you can't do.
Absolutely. And again, though, like it gives you social proof. Like if you go on the Facebook group and you ask for photos, our group, you're going to get plenty of people that giving you photos. My advice to you is don't put up this photo if you've never installed a job before. Like maybe put up, where's my big head? Maybe put up something like this. Okay. Like an easy one story. It looks good. You can do that. But when you get your own photos, clients know. I'll tell you this photo right here, there's several training companies that use this photo and it links to their website. Like several training companies use this and it's out there. When somebody puts up a photo online saying, hey, you can use it for free, a lot of other companies go and they use that photo. And so a client, when they click on that, it's like Google will just direct them to everybody else. And they see this floating around. They see it on a bunch of ads. And they're like, oh, well, how do they know that you're real? But when you go and you install the lights and you take your own photos and it's unique, clients know when it's legit you and when it's real. Okay, Josh C. says, what to do if personal Facebook account is banned from running ads, but you never ran ads before? I haven't made the Facebook page for the business yet. Start under a personal account, transfer to clean account later. So my advice to you here is go ahead and set up your business page, okay? You don't need to run ads on your personal account. You need to set up a business page and all of your ads are going to be run to the business page. But what you do is you post in the beginning, you don't have anybody on your business page. So you leverage your personal page to get people to like your business page. And then you see which content gets the most traction, and then you run the ads to the content on your business page.
So, and I would highly recommend, I mean, Donovan may have a little bit different viewpoint, but I would highly recommend you dive into learning ads and running a few yourself. Even if you're going to hire Ashley, you're going to hire someone else, I would, just so you kind of know what's going on in the background, so you know whether the person that you hired is doing a good job or not. If you have zero understanding of ads, you could hire a total snake oil salesman that has no clue, and there's like, well, your budget's not high enough. So you should at least understand the process of running your own ads a little bit, so you know when you hire hire someone that's smarter than you, and then you can trust them to run your ads. But if you don't have any clue of what's going on, even Elon Musk, like all the time, he knows 90% of what people that he's hiring are doing. They may know a little bit more than him, but he knows enough to understand whether he's hired a pro or someone that's just a con artist.
Yeah. I mean, you need to know enough to know if what you're doing is going to be effective, or if you're wasting your money. Like I said, at clc-university.com, we got a lot of options for you guys to learn about.
Well, even me.
ads,
So I've been doing.
marketing.
So I used to run my own ads, but for the last couple of years, I've been paying other people to run my ads for me. I think just dive in and having to figure out what's going on has helped me understand. Like there was some. Anyways, I didn't understand really what was going on. I've kind of taken a break for a couple of years, but just diving in, it's not really that much effort to dive in and actually dissect the ads to see what's going on.
So David on YouTube asked, I'm sure it's a loaded question, but if you had 25,000 as a marketing budget, how would y'all allocate that spend? I would do if you've okay. So I'm going to answer it two different ways. I'm going to answer it as if you have never done marketing before. I would try a bit of everything, right? I would take half of that. I'd take $10,000 and I'd put it into everything. I put it into yard signs and door hangers and Facebook and Google and all of the advertising. I would take 10 grand to figure out what's actually going to work in your area, and then whatever's getting you the most results, I'd take the remaining 15,000 and I'd dump it all into what's getting you the most results. So whenever you spend money in advertising, you need to be able to track every lead source, every phone call that comes in. You need to ask that customer, how did you hear about us? But if I had 25 grand, I would do it all. I would do, at a minimum, magnets on the vehicle. At best, I would go ahead and get a brand. I'd get a logo. I'd get a website. Like I would do it all. And I would save a little bit of money for all of that. Like I'd probably dump, a couple of grand into Facebook ads, a couple of grand into Google ads, nice website, nice logo, nice rep, whatever. I would do it all.
Now, I would be careful though, because if, like, let's say you got 20 grand and you're planning on dumping on Facebook, if you have no clue what you're doing, you could chew through 20 grand and barely get any work. Like you need to have someone that's going to mentor you through your Facebook ads.
That's why I was saying I would only take 10 grand. I would take 10 grand and do a shotgun. And then for that last 15,000, I'd use a sniper rifle.
Right. So see what's working, but just because you spend money on ads indiscriminately doesn't mean any of them are going to be successful. You're probably going to need to find someone. You're going to have to find someone you can trust, someone that's going to mentor you and coach you and help you understand what you're doing. Like right now, I'm signed up with the Facebook marketing, and he's really helping me. I like him because he actually runs my ads, but he's explaining to me what's going on, so I can dissect the ads and figure out myself, and I can take over at any time if I want. But he's explaining to me the process, and I'm happy with it, so I'm going to let him keep running my ads. So.
Mitch on Facebook is saying, are Facebook ads a waste of money this early?
Yes.
If it's your first year in business, yes. And if you do not have a good customer journey, that sales process, if you don't know how to close, don't spend money right now. Just do all the organic stuff.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is make sure you have a GMB. That's by far the cheapest. That's your best ROI you're ever going to get. So right now you still have enough time to get your GMB up and start getting reviews. You need to get like 5 or 10 reviews up before season. So, or your very first customers, beg, plead, whatever you got to do to get reviews up. But that is very important for ranking your GMB.
I will say if you don't have a GMB right now, there's a lot of steps you need to follow before you try to get a GMB. So make sure you have all that stuff done first. All right, Chase said, for me, the houses that looked easy were hard, and the houses that looked hard were easy. I mean, I don't know what this means, but that's a hard house, and it was hard. That's an easy house, and it was easy. So I don't know what we mean there. I will say this, on the easy homes, like right here, I don't know how to move my finger. Oh, there we go. All right, this way. So on the easy home like this, my crew will make more money per day, even if we're charging less per foot. So we make a lot more money on these homes than we do on these homes per day, per crew. These are a lot more profitable than this. And this right here doesn't make me any money. It's just good for photos.
Yeah, tree work is very difficult to be very profitable unless you're a Patrick Walker. And
Well, but the key there is you got to have labor. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to take my roofline guys and put them on a $3,000 tree, and they're out there all day, or they're out there for half the day, only making $3,000 doing the tree.
Right. Even
they gotta have a lift there, and they got to have expertise and all that other type of stuff.
So like Patrick Walker, the reason why he's able to just clean house, because he's got an army of labor and he's charging top dollar. But tree work is just a lot slower, and you have to be pretty talented to do it. So you can't just stick anyone on a tree.
All right, Gabriel Swan is saying, when is the next class? So right here, yeah, the huge. So you can go to Nashville, Tennessee. If you're already going to be at the huge, come to this training. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're not already
we already got some free tickets we got to give, because some people already bought the ticket during the live. So.
Oh yeah. So okay. So how many? Do we have any left? Or
yeah. We still.
I said anybody who buys it during the live will give a ticket. So okay, look, if you want to come to the training, you can pay for this. We'll give you a free ticket to the huge convention, I guess. And but this is not like 3 days of just lights. So you're going to have August 22nd. It's going to be all day with us. All right, here's our goal: to get you up to $100,000 in revenue by lunchtime, and then from lunchtime till dinner time, we're trying to get you beyond. So we're going to have like entry-level topics at the beginning of the day, and then towards the end of the day, we're going to have our heavy hitters. We're going to have people that have 7-figure businesses speaking towards the end of the day. Now, August 23rd and August 24th are the main huge convention events. That's sort of separate from our event, although we're going to host our training at the same Gaylord Opry Hotel. Okay. But you get access to there, and there's going to be guys like Tommy Mello and some real heavy hitters speaking on like business. It's not really going to be geared towards the Christmas lights. There will be some other Christmas light people there that you can like bump elbows and rub shoulders with. But what will be cool is CLC will have a huge vendor space right next to the main aisle in the vendor space, and we're going to have a huge booth there. And so we're going to do some cool things at that booth that you're going to learn a lot of hands-on stuff. So that'll be the next training. That'll be geared towards brand new people and people trying to like scale their business. It's going to be a bit of everything. I just hosted. Fred, do we have any more like entry-level classes this year scheduled?
Yeah, so that's the thing. We just changed the website description. So every single one of our trainings, except for the permanent lights, has entry-level training. And then so they're all called $100,000 and beyond, how to scale your business to $100,000 and beyond. So that is like if you're a brand new installer, I'd make your first goal to hit 6 figures, which it may not happen your very first year.
There's
but
Caitlin, I see her in the mirror. No, you can't duck down. We saw you, Caitlin. You got to wave.
I know, I saw it.
Look, so my very first year in Christmas light business, I did.
No, wait, pause, Fred. Caitlin, you got to get back on camera. For those of y'all who don't know, this is actually the person who runs CLC, makes sure all the shipments are actually show up on time, puts in like 70-hour weeks. Like this is the person keeping. Fred and I are just up here playing with light bulbs. Like Caitlin is like keeping the train on the track. So
if it's on the track, it's because of me. If it's off the track, I'll blame.
Now, like if a customer's mad because like a shipment didn't come on time, like she literally sometimes is in tears. We're like, come on, you're trying as hard as you can. You did what you could, but she takes her job very serious that you guys get your products on time. So,
yeah. I don't even know what we were talking about, but
no, like if you guys can at all make it to the huge, I think we're gonna over deliver. I think you're gonna receive a tremendous amount of value, and you're gonna leave inspired. When I look at my last year, when I went to the huge, like that marked the start of my Christmas light. Because as soon as I leave there, I'm installing lights. I'm getting hammered with leads and estimates and everything. It all like starts right after the huge. So this will get you in game frame mind that you're gonna be in like zeroed in. Like you're gonna hear a bunch of people that are really good at Christmas lights, and you're going to start to think like them. You'll probably get like group think, like start to think like some of the real leaders in the industry, and you're going to go out there and just probably conquer your cities. So but your first year, you should really try to make your goal to get to 6 figures. Now, I know if you're in the middle of nowhere, there's not a lot of population around you, that may be a bit of a struggle, but it is doable. We talk to guys that are in the middle of nowhere that end up doing 6 figures. Sometimes it may take you 2 or 3 years to get there. My very first year in business, I did Christmas lights. I was doing the $99 install. My average install was $300, and I did 27, I think. I did a total of $9,800 in revenue. So I had no clue what I was doing. Like you can do that almost in a week now, even if you're a first year installer, just by knowing and learning from some of the industry leaders how to run your business and how to get leads and all this other stuff. So
And just so you guys know, like my goal for a 2-man crew or a 3-man crew for one day is 10 grand. So, so what Fred did in a year, his first year, is the goal that I set, my minimum goal for an experienced crew. Now, my brand new crews, I give them a little bit. It's a little bit more realistic. I have them target between $5,000 and $6,000 a day for a brand new crew. But yeah, for my established crews, like even on complicated jobs, I try to get them to hit that 10,000. But I want to be transparent with you guys. Like this right here for an experienced crew, I'll even say I'll have 3 guys on this job site right here. My most experienced guy, even if I was there, if Fred and myself were there with a helper, we would not be able to do $10,000 a day on this job. Like we wouldn't be able to. It's just so complicated. You got to really know what you're doing. All the hips and ridges. Like I know it doesn't look to be that big, but there's probably 500 foot of roof line on this. Those are 60-inch reef. Those would come up to here on me. Well, I don't know. I guess maybe here. I'm a little bit tall. But in those columns and all the detail and making it look like, even if Fred and I were out here, it would probably take Fred and I. How many cats do you have? Like I've seen 3 different types of cats in the lot. But right here, this would probably take Fred and I all day. So that would it'll only be like a $5,000-$6,000 day if Fred and I. And so my most experienced crew. But if Fred and I were doing these jobs right here, I bet you we would hit a $15,000 day.
Yep.
And that's because we got a lot of experience. Probably Fred and I wouldn't even have to talk to each other if we were on the same job site. We'd be like, who's doing what? We just get to work. We've been doing it so often. And so like we have like I have in CLC University, I go over like the 10 steps to a successful install. And so like me, if I'm out with Ryan, my number 1 guy, like we talk, we do a game plan before we get started. And then we just get to work. We would be done with this job right here. Like no joke. We would be done by the time we pull up, and by the time we leave would probably be like 25 minutes. Right. And I know a lot of people don't believe us, but your first year, Fred, you think their first year, they could get that done in like 2 to 3 hours, right? If they're okay being on a roof, because there's some dormers and stuff.
Yeah, the bulbing's going to take almost as long as the install your first year, if you're a new guy, especially.
Yeah. So your first year, you gotta screw in all the bulbs, and that might take you an hour if you're there by yourself. You know, you're probably going to be doing like this right here, like that right there is going to be pretty steep. So you'd probably be doing that all with a ladder. You might not have the Ridge Pro and the Goat and the pitch hoppers and the Cougar Paws. Like you might not have all the safety equipment. So you're doing a lot of work from the ladder. You know, even that right there is real steep. So that right there, your first year might take you 30 minutes to an hour just to do that right there. So there's a lot that again, I want you guys to know where we're coming from. Like Fred and I, again, we did 10 grand. Both of us did like 10 grand our first year, but we've just been doing it so long now. I really want you to understand, like, you're not going to do 10 grand a day your very first year, but you could definitely, over the 40-day season, you could definitely do $2,000 to $3,000 a day and hit 6 figures your first year in business, especially if you're like investing in training, proper equipment, and actually professional grade stuff that is going to last you, that you're not spending a lot of time doing touch-ups. Yeah, so even Cindy said like that's a 25 to 45 minute job for sure. Oh, here we go. Look, John. All right, here you go, Fred. I'm gonna let you preach to him, okay? Like, but don't get kicked off Facebook. But I have a gutter cleaning business. Leads come old school, door to door. I want to do more online stuff. I've got insurance for Christmas lights under the cleaning biz. I want a separate GMB for lighting. All right, so Josh C. right here, Fred. This is me. How many years ago? Preach to him. Preach to him, Fred.
Yeah, I would go all in, and I would open up with the state. I would get a DBA official with the state, or get a LLC with the state. It probably costs $200-$300. I don't know your state, and get actual GMB for your Christmas light business. Like people, when they hire you, like they're not thinking, oh, this gutter cleaning company also hangs lights. Like when they're looking, they're like, oh, NC lights, like NC Christmas lights. They hang Christmas. When people call me, my name is Christmas Light Installer, so they think I'm sitting around year round thinking about lights. I do now, but I had that from the very beginning, my very first year in business. So it just shows that you're really like making a mind shift, that it's a separate business. You're going to go all in, and you're going to try to make that business grow. Now, I know gutter cleaning is probably really big, and door knocking, I think for Christmas lights actually probably would work in November. But you really need to get digital marketing, because you need to get, like Donovan literally will get 100 leads a day, sometimes in November. And so that's why he's able to charge the prices. If you're door knocking, you're going to be lucky to get 20 or 30 people that you're actually going to talk to throughout the course of the day. And then you're going to try to have to talk them into doing. He's getting people that are literally calling him wanting Christmas lights to begin with, and sometimes up to 100 in a day. So that's how he can charge high prices and not care if he's got a 5% closing rate, because he's got so many leads just coming through all the time. So door knocking, if you absolutely have no money, is a way that you can for surely get going, but you're not going to sell anything till probably after Halloween that way. So I would figure out digital marketing, and you could do Facebook marketing for $20 a day and practice on it. You're not spending a ton of money, and you can start to dial in your ads and see what's working. And once you figure it out, you're going to realize, look, Spencer Clays was just here. And I door knocked for 3 years. That was my way I got leads for 3 years. Then I figured about digital, and I could get leads online. So I got paid for every time I got a contract signed. So people would call me, because my company I work for didn't believe in the digital marketing. So I built my own website. I got my leads. I'd sign up, get a contract signed, and the company would pay me $500. It was something like that. But I was like, and then I got so many of those. I was like, they want me to go door knock. I was like, no way. I'm just going to pump ads to my website. Well, anyways, once you figure it out, now it's just a matter of scaling. Once you get ads figured out, and you know that, hey, for every $20 I'm spending, I get 1 lead. Well, I want 5 leads, so I'm going to spend $100 a day. You cannot do that with door knocking unless you want to hire an army of door knockers behind you. Then you got to be a really good business manager and have people skills, and you're running a multi-level business at that point. So it's really hard to scale a door knocking business.
Yeah, especially if that's your only way. And so, what I tell everybody is that you can invest time or you can invest money. But in the beginning, if you're investing time, you need to figure out how you're going to invest money to get the same or better results, because at some point you're going to get busy hiring people or training or going out and installing. Like, you are going to be busy. And then the moment you quit door knocking, your leads go down. And then now you finally get caught up on work and you go door knocking again. And then so your business does this if you only have one way of generating leads. So my opinion is you should have a time investment way. And so that way, if door knocking, if yard signs and stuff like that are working, then do that when you are at a completed job or when you're at a quote or something like that. Go do those things. But if you're staying busy with work and stuff like that, invest in some good marketing and some good ads. But hey, I think we did a pretty good job about staying on top of the comments. If we missed any, just feel free to reach out or shoot us a message. Fred's on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. So it's Donovan Quesenberry and Fred Zimmerman. Also, the Christmas Light group is Christmas Light Contractors. It's a free group on Facebook. I know we got a bunch of people watching our YouTube. We also have Christmas Light Contractors on YouTube. And then, if I have not said it enough, we also have clc-university.com. There's a free course on there, and there is a paid subscription where you get access to everything. If we can figure out how to live stream the Huge, we may include that for you guys. But right now, we don't have that technology guaranteed. But you will have access to past recordings, so you'll get some of that information, but it just won't be active, and you won't get everything. Like, you won't get the Q&A, you won't get a lot of that, but you might get a couple hours worth of content there. So with that, guys, God bless, take care. We'll see you next week. We go live every Monday. Sometimes it's between 6 and 8 o'clock, but yeah, just follow our Facebook group, and we'll